Have you ever noticed that the harder you push for something, the further it seems to slip from your hands? It could be a relationship you are trying to fix, a career goal you are chasing, or even a personal transformation you are desperately trying to force. No matter how much pressure you apply, no matter how much you try to control every detail, life somehow finds a way to push back. And instead of moving forward, everything starts to feel heavier, slower, and more complicated. It's almost as if life is whispering, not this way, not like this. But in those moments, we rarely listen. We tighten our grip. We push harder. And without realizing it, we create more resistance than progress. This is where Lao Tzu's timeless wisdom becomes a guiding light. He asked a simple question that cuts through centuries: why do we try to bend life to our will when life already knows the path? Lao Tzu observed a profound truth about human struggle: we suffer not because the path is wrong, but because our approach is rigid. When we force, we resist the natural flow that is already trying to take us where we belong. And the more we insist, the more life slows us down, not to punish us, but to redirect us. Imagine, for a moment, that your destiny is like a river. It has a direction. It has a rhythm. It knows how to carry you. But if you start swimming upstream, fighting the current, you exhaust yourself and delay the journey that was meant to be effortless. Lao Tzu's principle of Wu Wei invites us to stop battling the river and begin moving with it. When we stop forcing, when we soften our inner stance, life begins to open in ways we never imagined. And that is the doorway we step through today. We live in a world that glorifies effort, pressure, and relentless pushing. From childhood, we are taught that success belongs to those who grind the hardest, force the strongest, and never slow down. But Lao Tzu observed something very different about the nature of life. He saw that when we push too hard, we create friction. When we try to control every detail, we actually disturb the natural intelligence that is already trying to guide us. And paradoxically, the more we force, the more life resists us. Think about the times you tried to make something happen before its right moment, maybe a relationship you tried to save, a job opportunity you tried to rush, or a goal you chased frantically. You might have noticed that the more force you used, the further the outcome drifted away. That is not failure. That is the nature of force. Lao Tzu beautifully said, "The hard and rigid will be broken, the soft and yielding will overcome." This is not just poetry, it's a clear observation of how life works. Rigidity snaps under pressure. When your mind is tense, your vision becomes narrow. You stop seeing possibilities. You stop hearing your intuition. You lose access to wisdom, creativity, and timing, all things that destiny depends on. But when you soften your approach, when you stop pushing against the flow, new paths naturally begin to appear. Forcing life is like trying to push a river in the opposite direction. You might use all your strength, all your time, all your energy, and still the river will not obey. Not because it is against you, but because it has its own movement. Life, too, has its own rhythm. When we insist on controlling it, we only exhaust ourselves and block the very outcomes we desire. Lao Tzu teaches that the more we grip, the more life slips, because force never creates harmony. Alignment does. Most people misunderstand Wu Wei. When they hear effortless action, they imagine doing nothing, sitting passively, or waiting for life to magically solve everything. But Lao Tzu never taught laziness. Wu Wei is not inaction, it is natural action. It is the art of moving in harmony with the flow of life rather than struggling against it. To Lao Tzu, Wu Wei meant acting from clarity instead of impulse, responding instead of reacting, and allowing life to unfold through you rather than being controlled by you. It is a state where your actions arise effortlessly, like water flowing downhill. You don't force the next step, it becomes obvious because your mind is calm and your heart is aligned. In WWEI, you stop chasing outcomes and instead let the right actions emerge from a peaceful inner space. Think of a tree growing toward the sun. It does not plan. It does not push. It simply responds to nature with complete trust, and its growth is steady, powerful, and graceful. In the same way, when you live in WWEI, your choices feel natural. Your timing becomes precise. You notice signals and opportunities that you once overlooked. You begin to work with life, not against it. Lao Tzu said that the wise person moves like water, gentle, adaptable, but capable of finding its way through any obstacle. Water does not force a direction, it flows with intelligence. WWEI asks you to let go of inattention. It asks you to stop acting from fear, urgency, or restlessness. It invites you to act only when the moment is ripe, when the inner and outer conditions align. This does not mean doing less. It means doing the right things, at the right time, with the right energy. And when you act from this place of harmony, life becomes smoother, clearer, and remarkably effective. WWEI is the path of effortless clarity. Your destiny is not a fixed point on a map, it is a living path that reveals itself step by step. But Lao Tzu teaches that this path only becomes visible when you are in harmony with life. When you force, you break that harmony, and your destiny becomes difficult to access. The first way forcing blocks destiny is by making you act out of fear rather than wisdom. When your mind is tense, you make decisions from anxiety, pressure, or desperation. Fear says, if I don't control this, everything will fall apart. But wisdom whispers, if I stay aligned, the right moment will reveal itself. Fear-driven action leads you away from your true path, while aligned action guides you toward it. The second way forcing blocks destiny is by making you move before the moment is ready. Lao Tzu reminds us, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. When you act too soon, you interrupt the natural timing of events. You plant seeds before the soil is fertile. You push conversations before the other person is receptive. You chase opportunities that are not yet mature. Just like picking a fruit before it ripens, premature action leads to frustration and disappointment. Life has a rhythm, and destiny unfolds according to that rhythm, not our impatience. And the third way forcing blocks destiny is by numbing your ability to listen. Destiny speaks in gentle signals, a quiet intuition, a subtle discomfort, a sudden clarity, a door that opens effortlessly. But when you are forcing outcomes, your inner world becomes noisy. You lose sensitivity. You miss synchronicities. You cannot recognize the path that life is trying to show you. Forcing fills your life with tension, flow fills it with guidance. Lao Tzu teaches that destiny requires space, space for wisdom, space for timing, and space for life to move. When you stop forcing, that space opens, and your path begins to reveal itself. WWEI is not a mystical idea meant only for monks or sages. It is a practical way of living that you can apply every single day. Lao Tzu teaches that the real power of WWEI appears not in grand, dramatic choices, but in small, gentle shifts of how you approach life. The first practice is learning to reduce inattention. Before you act, pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Relax your shoulders. When your body softens, your mind becomes clearer. Most of our mistakes happen when our inner state is tight and hurried. A calm mind naturally finds the right action without force. The second practice is choosing alignment over urgency. If something feels rushed, confusing, or heavy, it is often a sign that the timing is off. Instead of pushing harder, step back for a moment. Let clarity settle. Lao Tzu often emphasized that the right action becomes obvious when we stop trying to control everything. The third practice is responding rather than reacting. Reactions come from fear, old wounds, or impatience. Responses come from presence. Water does not react with violence, it adapts with intelligence. When someone says something upsetting or when a situation becomes stressful, Wu Wei invites you to stay soft inside. From that softness, your actions become wise. And the fourth practice is letting go of the illusion of control. Many of the things we try to force, people, timing, outcomes, are not even in our hands. Wu Wei teaches us to focus on what we can do with sincerity and to release what we cannot. This surrender is not a weakness. It is deep awareness. It is knowing where your responsibility ends and where life's natural flow begins. When you apply these small daily practices, you begin to act from harmony rather than pressure. And in that state, everything becomes smoother, clearer, and more aligned with your true path. When you stop forcing life, something almost magical begins to happen. Life starts to cooperate with you. Lao Tzu teaches that when you release inner pressure, you create space for natural intelligence to flow into your world. Suddenly, situations that once felt stuck begin to shift. People show up at the right time. Opportunities align themselves without you chasing them. Decisions that felt confusing become clear. This is not coincidence, it is the natural outcome of moving from force to flow. When your inner world becomes softer and quieter, you finally allow life to guide you instead of resisting its direction. Lao Tzu often said that the world follows one who follows the Tao, meaning that when you move with the natural rhythm of life, everything around you adjusts to support your path. Think of how water behaves. It does not fight to break through a rock, it simply flows around it, finding an opening with patience and intelligence. Over time, water even shapes the rock, gently, effortlessly, and without strain. When you stop pushing against life, you begin to embody the same subtle power. You no longer waste energy on the wrong battles. You no longer feel drained by endless struggle. Instead, things begin to unfold with surprising ease. Messages arrive at the right moment. A new idea appears when you need it. A conversation naturally leads to the next step. This is what alignment looks like. Non-forcing does not make you passive, it makes you receptive. It opens your intuition, strengthens your awareness, and increases your ability to recognize the right timing. You feel guided rather than lost. Supported rather than burdened. When you are not fighting life, you begin to notice the gentle signs, synchronicities, and opportunities that were always there but hidden behind your own tension. Wu Wei creates space for quiet miracles to enter. It allows destiny to approach you instead of you chasing it. One of the most important gifts Lao Tzu offers us is the ability to recognize whether we are flowing with life or forcing against it. Most people don't realize they are in a state of resistance until they feel exhausted, confused, or blocked. But with a little awareness, you can sense the difference long before things become difficult. The first question to ask yourself is, does this action feel heavy or natural? When you are in flow, even hard work feels light and meaningful. But when you are forcing, everything feels tense, pressured, or burdensome. Your body tightens, and your mind becomes restless. This heaviness is a clear sign that you are trying to push life instead of partnering with it. The second question is, am I acting from fear or from clarity? Fear-driven actions are rushed, noisy, and unsettled. They come from a place of, I must, I should, or I'll lose if I don't. Clarity-driven actions feel steady and grounded. Lao Tzu teaches that forcing is simply fear in motion. Flow is wisdom in motion. The third question is, am I trying to control something that is not mine to control? Many struggles arise because we try to manage people, timing, or outcomes that do not belong to us. When you release the illusion of control, your energy becomes free again. The fourth question to ask is, am I ignoring signals from life? When everything feels blocked or delayed, it is often guidance, not opposition. Life may be redirecting you toward a better path. And the fifth question is, am I aligned with my inner truth? Forcing usually requires betraying yourself in small ways, ignoring intuition, silencing your emotions, or overriding your natural pace. Flow brings you back to your own center. When your inner state is peaceful and your actions arise naturally, you are walking the path of WWEI. And on this path, life opens effortlessly before you. Dear seeker, as we come to the end of this journey, remember that you are not meant to fight with life. You are meant to move with it, breathe with it, and allow it to guide you with gentle intelligence. Lao Tzu teaches that destiny is not something you conquer through force, but something you invite through softness, trust, and inner clarity. When you stop pushing, life stops resisting. When you stop gripping, life starts opening. And when you stop trying to control everything, you finally create the space for the right things to enter. You are not weak for choosing softness, you are wise. You are not passive for choosing patience, you are aligned. Every step you take with awareness brings you closer to the path that is already meant for you. If today's teaching touched your heart, I invite you to share your reflection in the comments. Tell me what part of WWEI resonated with you the most, or simply type Jai Gurudev to send your blessings into the flow of this community. Your words may become the spark that inspires another seeker on their journey. And I would love to know, what should the next video be about? Which spiritual teaching, ancient master, or mystical topic would you like to explore next? Your suggestions shape the path of this channel, and your voice truly matters here. If you found wisdom, clarity, or peace in this message, please support this work by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who may be struggling with force and resistance in their own life. Together, we spread softness, awareness, and the timeless teachings of the great masters. Thank you for walking this path with me today. Until we meet again, may your journey be filled with effortless alignment. Jai Gurudev.